Welcome to the Diaspora DOGE channel. Please let us know if you can hear and see us. Today we have a member of our team, Oleg Pritula. Welcome, Mr. Oleg.
Hello, Mr. Hudan.
Mr. Oleg has taken the initiative into his own hands today, for which I am very grateful. We are all grateful. He will talk about the new US government, the program, and we have a surprise, Mr. Oleg.
Well, I invited Zoe to the studio because I am grateful to her, as Zoe is the only person who, during the rallies we held in Washington, went out in front of the White House to ensure that Lend-Lease was granted to Ukraine. Zoe was the only one who supported us and practically built a bridge between Washington and Ukraine. So Zoe, I believe, is a hero. Well, I hope. And next, what I would like to do is, of course, congratulate us all on a great victory, which is very important and is an extremely pivotal moment in history. I would say humanity. Why? Because if we take 250 years ago, when the Constitution was adopted by the Founding Fathers and the Bill of Rights, America has been gradually sliding in a direction that the Founding Fathers themselves did not foresee, because all this time, this leftward movement has practically brought humanity to the brink of losing freedom altogether, freedom of speech, freedom of action, freedom of entrepreneurship. And at this moment, I indeed strongly believe that God has given us the opportunity to turn the real situation in the world around, and thus practically from this point, we can move in the right direction towards health. So I congratulate everyone once again, and I think this is just the beginning of the work, but it will still be more creative, and the truth is on our side. We have proven this, and now it remains to step-by-step defeat that communist hydra. I am strongly confident in this, and I am now confident in the future of our children. So I join your words, and it seems very important to me that our compatriots, Ukrainians, know that there is a chance for a bright future. And of course, thanks to our team, to everyone who helped convey this truth, we will be able to continue making progress in this direction.
And there is already a ready plan. There is no need to reinvent the wheel. And we will talk about this plan. Moreover, Mr. Oleg has already met with members of Trump's team who will now be in the new government. Perhaps Ms. Zoe wants to add something.
Well, I would add to Oleg's words that we all contributed, some more, some less. But it seems to me that I can't even weigh it like that. It seems to me that even if a person just cheered for Trump's victory, they already contributed some positive energy in that direction and helped. These were difficult about 2 years when we fought. We just need to understand that we all fought not just for Trump to come to power, and Trump is a bearer of certain ideas and our views, like reasonable people on what an adequate world should be. And he is indeed also a very strong leader who can come to power in such a strong state as the USA. The USA is generally a flagship, so to speak, a driving force of freedom. It has been in the West since the time where this island continent was discovered. People went there seeking freedom, seeking independence from the oppression of monarchy and state. And all of this then ricocheted, as I always say, into Europe and even the Middle East, where these ideas of freedom began to seep in. But then the left quickly realized that if we don't take control of the United States of America, we will lose power worldwide. Therefore, unfortunately indeed, in the apparatus of the United States of America, there are now many people who are essentially enemies of freedom, self-governance, self-management, and so on. But now, at least we have the wind in our sails. We are no longer going against the wind. It is easier for us now. And the most important thing is that we must not stop under any circumstances because, firstly, I think that Trump will be an obstacle. I have heard that governors of democratic states want to unite in various ways to effectively prevent him from implementing his policies in their states. We still do not know what surprises they are preparing in the USA, while in Ukraine propaganda against him continues. I will return to this a little later. That is why the work has not become less, even I would say more. And that is why it will help no one to stop, and I will also use the words of Zelensky, so it is more powerful to seek freedom and push all the doors with your feet and hands as much as you can. I give you my word. So very much there is hope for us, and there is a ready plan, it seems to me.
Probably. Mr. Oleg will tell us more about this.
First of all, I would like to reiterate that the power of conservative forces and forces of common sense now fully belongs to the Republican Party. It is important to note that this means that the Republicans hold both the Parliament, the Senate, and the presidency, and the Supreme Court. Thus, practically, if everyone says that Trump will not be given something or that he will have some problems, believe me, Trump currently holds the legislative initiative. That is, everything he plans, he can absolutely implement in life, and these changes will happen much faster than anyone thinks. Because from the first day Trump came in, it was clear that he was already the president of the United States. He immediately released 10 points from his previous program, and every day he adds information on how he will act. His actions will be serious and gradual, and I think there will be no chance to return to that abyss. Why am I so confident? Because if Trump manages to pass all the laws that will make election fraud impossible, next time the leftists, communists, and Democrats will never have a chance to win elections. They can only win in one situation: when they falsify them. As soon as they come out honestly to the ring to play by the rules, which they never like and cannot do, they still need censorship to shove a sock in your mouth. And then, of course, in such a situation, it is very hard for you to fight. Now, clear rules of the game will be defined, and my opinion is that in the future,
maybe in the next 28th year, Republicans and Libertarians will compete against each other, and the Communist Party of the USA will go into the past. This is my confidence. What do you think? I think, as I already said, one cannot relax because I understand their cunning and the kind of people there are. Many people do not understand anything at all, neither politics nor economics. There are many trusting people, and this can be played well. In the USA, it didn't work out because there is a certain history, and people know how things should be, and they see the contrast. For example, if we take Ukraine, it is very easy to play on these emotions there because Ukrainians have never lived in a capitalist system. They do not know how things should be. They are still waiting for the state to build steamship factories and create jobs. They do not understand what a free economy is, what a market is, or what capitalism is. They do not need this. They still want others to create for them. Of course, there is a percentage of people who understand, but still, there are more who do not. Therefore, They will parasitize as a whole. They will parasitize wherever they can. They see these weak spots, and these are the countries where it is very easy to deceive people, and they will implement it there. Why do I say this? Look, Trump was elected, and some assumed that Soros would stop paying these talking heads. They will switch sides and start praising Trump. But no, in Ukrainian media, yes, these pro-Russian media, there is still propaganda against Trump. And this indicates that the funding has not stopped, that they will maintain this anti-Western policy. Even now, when Trump is in power, they will not let go of Ukraine. That is, I think they want to outlast Trump. That is, they could not give up this victory now because the knockout was such that, how to put it, so that the people of the United States do not go into opposition against the state and the government. They need to mimic a little, but where they hold a good position, I think they will not let go. They will finance the media, finance politicians. Well, Trump will leave in 4 years unless the Constitution changes. We still do not know who the successor will be, how strong he will be, and whether he will be able to maintain all the gains that Trump is now initiating, his beginnings. Therefore, I indeed believe that this problem is too global for us to relax. So in the USA, the struggle progresses more easily, precisely because of consciousness, a different consciousness. But in other cities, especially in the post-Soviet space, well, there are ideas to gain momentum. I think they will parasitize here, and from here they will go west again. That is indeed, in fact, they always use such underdeveloped countries to
destroy freedoms in more developed countries. I have some arguments regarding what I said. I would leave a little piece of positivity on your side so that you would be more confident. First of all, Trump took all the power in America, and changes will happen very quickly because, as you know, the Department of Efficiency, government efficiency was created, and it included Ramaswamy and Elon Musk.
I apologize, it needs to be translated into Ukrainian. This is the Department of Efficient Government, right?
Yes, in Ukrainian it is the State Department, which will be in future Ukraine.
This is the abbreviation DOGE, which is the Department of Government Efficiency.
And the Ukrainian, certainly, the State Department of Government Efficiency, well, as the content is understood by everyone, I think it will soon be in Ukraine. So, what is meant, first of all, is the task of Elon Musk to reduce both the government in terms of quantity and the expenses that the government spends endlessly, especially the military forces, which have practically brought America to bankruptcy, in order to involve Ramaswamy more. Everyone was considering Ramaswamy perhaps for the next elections and so on. And here, please, Ramaswamy is already. He will address the issue, meaning he has entered the fight right now. Currently, a libertarian, the same as in Argentina, is now in America, a real one, who said that it is impossible to reform anything, but rather a shutdown is needed, meaning to close those agencies, and accordingly DOJ. This structure that has been created, it will be fully highlighted on the X platform, and you can now look at, there are already just a month ago, well, not a month even, less created, already 500, 500,000 subscribers. I have 1.6 million subscribers. Oh, I am falling behind, you see, from such rapid rates. So the entire effectiveness will lie in what the leftists are very afraid of. When they are certified, and when problems that need to be solved are revealed, mechanisms are immediately activated that practically disarm them, because they are always afraid of the truth and light. This is the truth and light, Elon Musk, like a spotlight now in this direction of the world. And after these steps are taken, of course, processes will indeed also enter Ukraine. The government itself is working in that direction. And how do I see it? First of all, what Trump will do is that he will not ask for any conditions from Putin or anything like that. First, it will be an order. You stop shooting. This is not up for discussion. Stopping the shooting would give a significant, beneficial, and meaningful opportunity in Ukraine. And following what Trump will do, he will call Zelensky and say, my dear friend, as he loved to say, you have elections. And he will say to hold not only presidential elections, but also parliamentary ones right away. I think they will take place. I'm just imagining November 5th of next year, just as America elects a president. During this time, a department will be created, a department that will be structured more or less, which will also be highlighted on the platform, on the X platform. And during this year, it will be possible to have a very massive informational influence. And the Ukrainians, first of all, will not be shooting. There will be trust in Trump. This is one thing regarding the territories and so on. I think there will not be an emphasis on those territories. Trump will say that he does not recognize them as Russian this time. They may postpone it for 10 years, establishing a border between these two territories. But this will give Ukraine a breath of fresh air to literally reformat. And support will be 100% from the USA. At the same time, I think, since one of the main enemies, Elon, who had wheels put on him here, is BlackRock, he will pull the rug out from under BlackRock and start influencing Ukraine. Why? From a geopolitical perspective, Ukraine is, in terms of its strategic importance, in an exceptionally advantageous geographical position. Plus, now Elon is dealing with Europe, which is so rotten and has become communist that it requires a lot of energy. And Ukraine is like a blank slate. If the government changes, the president and parliament supported by Elon and the EU is established here, processes can move extremely quickly. And what he would do next is build a gigafactory on the territory of Ukraine. And this would be the best nuclear weapon against all leftists of various kinds and terrorists on that globe. This is my version.
Yes, I would like to add that Elon Musk is collaborating with the Pentagon, and they already have a series of satellites launched for striking from orbit. Well, this information is not yet confirmed, but the fact that he has a contract with the Pentagon is a fact.
Bogdan, I would say that Elon Musk is now the unofficial president of the whole world, starting with Ukraine. And then step by step, he will be able to support, just as he supported Argentina. And there, without Elon, Argentine Pavier, Miley wouldn't be president now. I seriously doubt it. Honorable support, maybe. This support was much earlier than everyone knew. Later, it became clear. And Elon undoubtedly showed in Argentina that if you resist when I get involved in the process, you absolutely have no chances. And now he has done it a second time in America. I would really like Ukraine to be the third.
Yes, and it seems completely possible to me. Mrs. Zoya, what do you think?
This is a very complex question. I just, live somehow. I don't expect anything like, let's say, a miracle, but I work towards that miracle with all my might in any possible way. So I honestly didn't really expect Trump to win, but I was working towards it all the same in the end. Ultimately, honestly, I didn't really expect that we would be given a lend-lease, but I was working towards it all the same. I want expectations. I still just want to do and analyze the possibilities carefully, thoroughly, and meticulously, soberly. So I simply cannot ignore the current and ongoing situation of the Ukrainian people, the situation of society, the level of education, the level of our politicians, I don't want to overlook this at all, because later in the future, there will just be disappointments. And at this very moment, we need to pay attention to what we lack and focus on supplementing what is missing. There is no education. We need to make significant progress in this matter, promoting a free economy, free market, and so on. And education, there are no politicians even. Now there will be elections, which Ukrainians are counting on. But if there is no external influence, the same people will come to power. They are already preparing Zaluzhny in America. What is it called? I will say it right now. I wrote it down. But the Coalition for Global Prosperity of Zaluzhny's group, wants to educate politicians in England. England is leftist through and through. Politicians are currently studying there in London. This Fabian Society essentially created this London School of Economics. It is essentially communism. It is the Kankurska School of Economics. So if our politicians study there, we will be getting communists. Right now, they are socialists, but we will be getting communists. And these processes have been set in motion. And unfortunately, there is no alternative. I wrote down who can run. Poroshenko, Timoshenko, Razumkov, Zaluzhny, none of them can be supported at all. That is, these are all people of the current system that exists. There is no opposition to them. In ideological terms, there is also none. There are oppositions that want to come to power instead of them, but still, for people to truly carry the right ideas and implement the right reforms, that is also lacking. So all of this needs to be created. Therefore, of course, we cannot change everything in a year, but we must understand that a president will still come, not the one we can hope for. But we must work consistently and diligently. We must prepare this true elite, and we must engage in education effectively and thoroughly. We actually have 4 years of time, and if we work and put in the effort, dedication, and commitment, we will have a chance to make it happen, to achieve our goals. That is, Ukraine cannot transform from a socialist country to a capitalist one in 1 year. It just doesn't happen. I simply cannot imagine it. To force such thinking, I understand that this is a process. It can take 10, 15 years, but we need to move in this direction, because what is happening now in the USA provides a good backdrop, favorable conditions for Ukraine to move in this direction. If we don't move forward, if Ukrainians say now, thank God the war is over, someone will come. It doesn't matter who Zaluzhny is, someone will do it. Now, as always, a bunch of promises, promising reforms. Ukrainians will indeed do nothing but wait for someone to fulfill these promises. So I think there will be no progress here. Well, it's good that we have the United States of America, but they will not and cannot do everything for us here internally. They will not rebuild the country for us from within. That's what I believe.
Well, Zoya, look, my argument first. First of all, before flying to Mars, Elon Musk decided to put things in order on all earthly matters. And every subsequent elected president in any country in the world will not bypass the influence of Elon Musk. I said this many years ago.